What an afternoon of live sport we have for you now at Alexandra Palace. The most successful player in this tournament's history against a man 11 years younger who thrives on the big occasion. The Dafabet Masters is made for matches like this, and the crowd are ready for what promises to be an epic confrontation. Please welcome one of the most exciting break builders in the modern game. 3 times a ranking event champion, runner-up in this season's International Championship. A man who is never intimidated by opponent or occasion. The pride of Northern Ireland, he's Mark the Pistol Allen. And his opponent, a player who has been entertaining snooker crowds at this event for 24 years. After a 6-0 demolition of Marco Fu, he's bidding for an incredible 14th Masters semi-final, a magnificent 7 last year. Here's your defending champion, the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Trying to get a snapshot of Ronnie O'Sullivan as there. Looked at a class of his own when he demolished Marco Fu 6-0. But this is a tougher test, as Ken was saying. Good afternoon to Mr. Doherty and Dennis Taylor.
A very good afternoon, Jason, and a very good afternoon, everyone. And once again, the atmosphere absolutely
thank you. Settle
incredible.
down now, please.
Ronnie did win the toss, and he's going to get this
frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
First quarter-final underway. Totally different match altogether to the one he had with Marco Fu, who never really got going. Well, he never got a chance to get going. Ronnie was awesome. But it's another day, it's another game, and straight away, Mark Williams will have a go at this red into the left corner. Mark Allen, I should say. I've got this thing about Mark. I was sitting chatting to him for 15 minutes backstage.
Oh, great shot. What a great opening red. Nicely on the black as well. Lovely angle. Go into the pack here. Needs a bit of luck here. Needs a bit of luck. Has he got it? Could have been a bit nicer. Didn't get into that bottom red full ball. Still got this red to the left centre. Problem with this shot, cue ball so close to the cushion, you can't dig down on the cue ball.
It was a difficult one that Mark took on there, but look at the position. He was right on the black, went full-blooded for it, but that was a very acute angle.
1.
You could just hold for the black. A couple of reds there, you can see by the pink will pot. Might come out off 2 cushions here. Not far enough for the one left of the pinks, but
8.
of course he has that great ability of being able to play left-handed.
Thank you. 9.
Contemplating whether he'll go into the pack of reds here, but there are still a couple of reds available.
Decided it was a little bit too risky to go into the reds that time.
17.
But there's still a few reds available, at least 4 potable reds at the moment.
Yeah, not straight on the blue as he'd like. So again, the 2 reds, one left and one right of the pink.
20.
Those couple of pots will certainly settled Ronnie already and cued him beautifully. And right into the heart of the pocket. A little bit short of the cue ball there though.
26.
I think he can still hold for the black here, screw off this red onto the side cushion, back out for the black.
Perfectly played.
27.
Well, that was a lovely
34.
little shot there, that cannon, just to leave this red into the right centre.
35.
Again. Just over-screwed it slightly. Yeah, I wanted to be on the pink into the right centre.
Foul.
He's
Ronnie
fouled.
O'Sullivan,
He's
35,
fouled.
Marco O'Sullivan.
Well, fair play to Ronnie O'Sullivan. Referee didn't see it. Let's have a look. He just hit the red, I think, with his cue.
Yeah, it was hard to see there, but he
1.
did the same thing against Marco Fu. He walked away from the table and no one had seen him touch the ball. So, as we keep saying, we're very proud of our game of snooker that they do this. Call fouls on themselves. And that's not the best outcome for Mark Allen there.
8.
He might have to have a go at the long red up into the right corner pocket. This one he's looking at. He'd need an extension on the cue, extension on the rest. He's a bit close to the one, but I think we'll just show you what happened there is Ronnie. Let's have a look. He just must have just slightly touched the red, just a fraction.
Not there. Oh, what a chance Ronnie O'Sullivan gave Mark Allen there, and it was just a simple
Mark
little
Allen eight.
cannon from the when potting the black on the red. What's gone wrong? I don't think Ronnie expected to get back to the table so soon, Dennis.
Shot.
1.
I might be able to show you Mark's shot a little bit later, the one where he just went astray. This was the one here, just he wanted to hit that red on the other side and he'd have been perfect. And you can't afford to give Ronnie a couple of chances, Ken.
No, you don't. You don't get many chances against Ronnie O'Sullivan, particularly in this form. And when you do, you really have to take them. Not a good start for Mark Allen. Had a couple of chances already, as you said, in this frame. He'd be very disappointed.
13.
Part of his game that he's very, very good at, those nice
40.
little cannons around the pink and black. And normally bread and butter for him, but I would say he's gifted this first frame. He's
21.
only a few more pots away, Ronnie O'Sullivan, to win this first frame.
$22.
Now you see 41 ahead, so
29.
just this red and any colour will be enough. So it's the first frame that's
30.
going to Ronnie O'Sullivan now. He's just checking the scoreboard.
$36. $37.
Tricky little red along the cushion. Doesn't really matter, but Ronnie would like to clear the remaining balls here. Well, a non-intentional kiss on the pink.
42.
Not bad with the opposite hand there.
43.
Another great positional shot. But
48.
that shot with the left-handed, Dennis, it's just incredible how he can play those shots.
50.
It's so hard playing them right-handed, never mind left-handed. He's just so good at it and so natural.
Yeah, Anthony McGill, who lost to
54.
John Higgins after that great comeback, he played a few shots with his opposite hand and he looked terrific.
57. $62. $68.
Well, he needed a couple of chances, but he certainly took that second opportunity, and that was a magnificent break of 75, and Ronnie O'Sullivan leads Mark Allen by 1 frame to 0.
Calm seemed a little bit more tucked in than normal. Perhaps it's just something I haven't been keeping an eye on, but tucking his back arm in a fraction more.
OK, we shall keep a look out for that. Ronnie takes the lead, 1-0 up. Back to Dennis and Ken.
Yeah, I haven't noticed Ronnie O'Sullivan, what Steve Davis said there, Dennis. just tucking his back arm in a little bit more. He does always try and keep on top of his cue action, even though it's so natural.
Now, who's going to play the more telling safety shot? You want to be getting the white close to the ball cushion, and the brown and green are not a bad target.
Nice little flick on the brown, just makes this safety shot a little bit more difficult. He's played that very well indeed. Great pace of the cue ball. Yeah. On top of the table, no acknowledgement. That was an excellent safety shot. Even the better thing about that shot, not only close to the ball cushion, but he's covered the pathway down the left-hand side. You can't hit any of the edges of the reds on the left-hand side of the pink, so.
Yeah, it looks as if he'll have to come off two cushions, Ken, and try and glance off the reds. He's got to be very precise with this. Oh, he's played it well, but the cue ball's going close to the corner. No, it's okay. Terrific shot.
Excellent escape, and he's running in a little bit of trouble here. Got to avoid the black here. And he couldn't. First glance, it looks like he's got away with it slightly. Yeah, nothing pots into the left-hand corner pocket, so, well, maybe there is one right in the middle of the pack. Yeah, he spotted one.
One.
I know it's early in the match, Dennis, but this chance is extremely important for Mark Allen here. Just to settle himself down. He had a couple of chances in that first frame, didn't take them.
It's not a good chance just yet. The black, okay, it's available, but pink and black off their spots. They're in potable positions, but it's not straightforward just yet.
Five.
And he's just got to be careful here when he pots the black on how he judges the cannon. I think he's got a bit of angle to work with. Played nicely. So can he take advantage this time? He had a golden opportunity in the opening frame.
12.
He's got a terrific temperament, as Mark Allen.
Well, after a couple of shots, he's
19.
got both pink and black now. Nicely on their spots and in the open.
20.
Black pots into both corner pockets.
$26.
Yeah, I wanted to be straighter on this red so he could just hold for the black. Looking at leaving the cue ball high on the black, but the problem is he's got to avoid those reds below the black when playing that type of shot.
$27.
Referee there. Just asking someone to settle down. Referee for this match, Marcel Eckhart
33.
from Germany.
$34.
Nice angle on the black. Doesn't have to disturb the reds because the bottom red of that bunch of 4 pots, and maybe even the one in the middle of the bunch of 4 pots as well.
41.
So don't have to do too much work here.
$42.
And this all came, Dennis, from an excellent escape from Mark Allen.
49.
2-cushion escape, put Ronnie in a lot of trouble.
$50. Yeah, sure.
He's one of the game's great break builders, is Mark Allen. He's made 40 centuries this season. This was the escape that he judged to perfection. He made 36 centuries
57.
last season. He'll be concentrating on making enough to win the frame here.
58.
But it's going to be difficult to clear up the way the reds are.
Well, this will certainly settle him down. A little bit edgy in the first frame, but this is exactly what he needed.
64.
Never easy coming out here in front of a packed audience
65.
playing the home favourite. And there you see it. What a wonderful venue it is.
Just make sure the black, that's frame ball. Oh, Mark, why would you hit it that
Mark Allen, 65.
hard? He's 65 in front. The black would have put him 72 in front with
Okay, thank you.
67 on the table. So why did he hit it that hard? Well, he just thought he couldn't miss the pot, but it just shows you. Wasn't easy to pot that and get on a colour. So Mark still, well, he's now checking the scoreboard. I'm sure he must have known before he played the black that he only needed the black. So he needs one red. I think he's just composing himself here. And the 2 reds over the pocket, it's a tricky little safety shot.
Yeah, try and knock a red up into the ball and maybe put a ball colour safe, green or brown. Well, that's not bad. We're only, of course, 65 behind. Needs 5 reds. And possibly 5 blacks. 4 blacks and a pink to win the frame. So red and balk certainly helps Mark Allen's cause. The problem about missing that black as well, Dennis, of course, you know, he didn't win the frame in one visit, and that will, instead of, you know, going back to a seat, having the frame one, if you had a pot of the black, one more red, he certainly wouldn't have come back to the table. Now he has to put himself through the ringer a little bit here. Just make him a little bit more edgy.
See, the red, the left side of the table, he's thought about doubling that across into the right corner pocket, but if he tried that, he could kiss the red that's near the left corner, just to the right of it. That's why he's not playing that shot. I think he's just going to come off the top cushion and land on this red by the looks of things. No, he is playing the cross double, and he's avoided that red. That's a terrific shot. He thought long and hard about it, but it was worth it in the end.
Yeah, well, big target behind green and brown here. Could be in a bit of trouble. Ronnie gets a snooker here. Almost, not quite.
That's an amazing pot. After missing the sitter of a black, he knocks a long red like that in. Superb cueing.
Mark Allen, one and a frame.
Well, Ronnie says enough. So he concedes. So Mark Allen gets off the mark. It's Ronnie O'Sullivan won. Mark Allen won.
Then you'll see a different player indeed.
Remember, Alan does have a very good record against Ronnie O'Sullivan in these events, in the World Championship and the Masters, doesn't he, Ken?
Yeah, he certainly does, and that will certainly settle him down. Getting the first frame on the board. He is a big-time player, Mark Allen. I don't think he'd be scared of taking on the mighty Ronnie O'Sullivan. I think he'll relish it.
Yeah, as I mentioned, Ken, I had about 10 minutes with Mark Allen, just chatting away to him just before we come out, and he was so relaxed, and we're just chatting about his family as Ronnie tries to get a fly there, but yeah, we're just chatting about his mum and dad, and he used to always come and watch him. He's a great family man, is Mark.
Well, he may be looking at a possible plant here. 4-ball plant into this bottom right-hand corner pocket. It's close. He's left Ronnie a possible red here now. Got it. Didn't go into the heart of the pocket.
One.
And that's why he's lost the cue ball slightly. It's a test of cueing. No. Yeah, it wasn't easy.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 1. One.
Just a couple of reds available at the moment.
Six.
It's just a bit awkward. It's not a good chance just yet.
Seven. Fourteen. 15.
Now we could play a little cannon on the reds just above the black, or just play for the loose red if he wishes.
$22. 23. 28. 29.
Yeah, we saw there's one more loose red available, the one just to the right of the pink spot into this bottom right hand corner pocket. Not straight enough on it. That's why he's shaking his head.
34.
He wanted to be straighter on this red. Watch the cue ball. Could go into the left middle here. No, he judged it nicely.
35.
He's got a nice angle on the blue.
$40.
Must need a
41.
nice angle on this blue now to go into the pack, because no more loose reds available, and he's judged it to perfection. Just one nice split here. The frame will be at his mercy. And has he got it? Is this red on into the bottom right hand corner pocket? He's having a quick look. Body language
46.
suggests it is. And there you see it.
$47.
This time he has a
54.
quick look at the scoreboard to see how many he needs.
55.
Well, he only needed one more red. I don't think he played to cannon that. He played to slip past the reds and leave the one to the right, which would have been an easy pot to secure the frame
62.
again. Just didn't intend to cannon that one.
I think he's been lucky, Dennis, here. I think he's knocked the plant on. There's a bit of distance between the two reds, but yeah, he got away with that
63.
one. That was very fortunate.
Seven. $68. $75.
Well, the next shot will open the reds up, but looks like he's screwing back for the blue. Oh, the white's close. Oh, it's okay. In fact, he's really got
76.
into that. He's gone further up the table, but that'll do very nicely. And he's throwing the gauntlet down for Ronnie O'Sullivan, who
82.
just missed that red when he was tight on the cushion.
83.
.65 break in the previous frame. This was the one that Ronnie missed.
88. $89.
We've had 20 centuries this year in the Alphabet Masters.
95.
He's made 357 centuries in his career, Mark Allen. One of the great break builders of the game.
100.
And that's another one. Superb performance from Mark Allen here.
104.
That's certainly going to make this quarterfinal very, very interesting indeed.
109. 115.
He knew the black was in. Oh, it's
15.
not in. Doesn't matter. Lost the opening frame, but then he's had breaks of 65 and that magnificent break of 115. And Mark Allen now leads Ronnie O'Sullivan by 2 frames to 1.
But unlucky to be tight in the cushion, missed the tricky black, and that's what Mark Allen's got to do. He's got to punish Ronnie for these mistakes, win frames in one visit.
2-1, Allen leads. Back to Dennis and Ken.
Important frame this for both players now. Last one before the mid-session interval. Ronnie would like to tie things up at 2 frames all, but of course Mark Allen would like to press home his advantage. Ronnie looked a little bit more edgy than he did in this first match, Dennis. Played so well against Marco Fu and didn't give him a chance. Hasn't found that form just yet. Still a long way to go, of course. Best of 11. Just gonna hit the pink, is it? Oh, very close.
He's touching ball.
It's a touching ball, so Ronnie can just play away from the red.
Hasn't blocked the path. Mark Allen can get down off the left side of the table there, as you can see. That's not a bad flick on the yellow. That might be touching again. No, it's not. So it's not as straightforward to get back down the table now. Well, you're never quite sure what's going to happen when you play off the reds like that, and it's flicked one over the corner pocket. But it's all about the cue ball here. That was the problem.
One.
Was never sure what was going to happen to the white there. Yeah, when we were chatting, Ken, he was telling me about his stepson, Robbie, who's only 13, and he made 133 break in a match. He lives back in Antrim in Northern Ireland. He was so proud of his stepson, Robbie. One to watch out for, has to be said, making breaks like that at 13 years of age.
Oh, that was an excellent safety shot from Ronnie O'Sullivan there. He's in a bit of trouble. I could clip that red so fine and missed the red and the blue on the way up. Excellent shot. Nice tap on the table. An acknowledgement from his opponent. This looks pretty good. Not tight to the ball cushion, but as you can see, again, blocked the path down the left-hand side. Quite congested on the right-hand side for Ronnie to find a pathway back to balk. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. Excellent shot.
Perfect length there. He needs a similar sort of shot here, does Ronnie. And he said it far too thin because there's a red near the left corner, and Mark can pop that and get himself onto the black. If this shot works out, an early opportunity in this fourth frame. Played it well.
One.
Mid-session interval coming up after this frame. And what a result that would be if this man could go there 3-1 in front after losing the opening frame.
8. Nine.
Yeah, not only that long pot, Dennis, but have a look at the little kiss. Knocks the red away from the black spot as well. Watch this. And purposely played. So that would open the black into both corner pockets. So it was a double whammy there. Excellent
16.
shot.
Seventeen.
I'd like to get one of these reds below the black out of the way. He's got an angle to do that now.
$24. 25.
Oh, just a little bit short with the cue ball. Still can just about hold it, I'm sure. Just about. He's looking good,
32.
Dennis.
Yeah, totally different action to
33.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, as Steve Davis was saying in the studio. A little sharp, doesn't pull the cue back all that far. And it's very effective on these very fast cloths. He's finished a little awkward here.
40.
Good recovery.
41.
I'm sure a lot of this packed house here at Alexander Palace came along
46.
thinking Ronnie O'Sullivan was going to carry on the way he played against Marco Fu. That was an incredible session, but snooker, it can change from day to day, and the reason it's one of the most difficult sports to play is only one player can play at the table. At golf, if your opponent hits a good shot, you can hit a good shot. With this game, if you make a mistake, you're sitting in your seat. And this is a terrific performance from Mark Allen, it has to be said.
53.
Yeah, quite cleverly got the pink out of the way there, because that opened up
54.
those two reds. He's just covered that red there. Didn't mean to kiss into the other red, and that's why he's shaking his head, because that red was open. And just by nudging it slightly, he can't pot it now. So this is Ronnie's, you would have to say, last hope in this frame.
61.
It's a tricky red for Mark Allen, but if he gets it, he'll win the frame. It's there.
62.
Good break this.
Yeah, a lot of the spectators might be surprised by this.
69.
None of the players will be. They know what he's capable of, this player.
70. $77. 78.
Can relax now and see if he can knock in another century.
$85. Mark Allen,
Well,
85.
what a shame, no century break, but one visit was all he needed. He lost the opening frame, but he's played magnificent stuff to take the next 3, and he goes to the mid-session interval, leading Ronnie O'Sullivan by 3 frames to 1.
So it'll be interesting to see if he can come back in the same focus as he was before.
Yep. Noisy Ali Pali. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break. Back to Dennis and Ken.
Yes, a noisy Ali Pali, but when the player gets down on the shot, perfect silence. There's a terrific crowd here.
Yeah, fantastic atmosphere always at the Alexander Palace. And although Ronnie O'Sullivan's supporters will be a little bit concerned, and sometimes, as Stephen said, an interval can change matches. It stops the player on the run, and that's Mark Allen in the first 4 frames.
Wasn't the best safety shot. He hit it far too thin there. But he might not have a good angle on this red to just run through for the black. Could just manage it. That was about the best he could do there.
Very good shot. Playing the black into a blind pocket,
8.
Going into the pack. It's not too bad. He's on this red into the left corner pocket.
9.
Prime position now.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 16.
Another surprising miss from Ronnie. That was much easier than the one he missed a few frames ago. That was a sitter, really. And if the next shot works out for Mark Allen when he plays the cannon here, he can bring quite a few reds into play here. Just a delicate cannon was needed, but I think he's ran out of position. That could be the end of break. He just played a delicate little cannon, thought he'd brought 3 reds into play. Just have a look here. He just wanted to hit that slightly fuller. And he's left with this tricky one with a long rest. Extension on the cue. I think he missed one like this in the opening frame. Very difficult to judge. But safely in the center of the pocket this time. And back.
9.
I was going to say back in prime position, but that white just seemed to keep on rolling there. He's still okay though.
$13. $14. $90.
This red pots into the right corner. When he pots it, it will release the one just above it. Good hole for the pink if he wished. decided
20.
to go through the reds for the black, and it's not bad. That was a net
20.
deal. Didn't expect him to miss that. Possible plant here for Ronnie. He's lost the cue ball.
It's amazing the number of times you see that when a player takes a plant on. He tends to just forget a little bit about the cue ball. Well, that's one way of having a look. Yeah, got to keep one toe at least on the floor. This must be very, very tight because you can't quite see. Very unusual to see a player looking at the shot from that angle. Well, this is very risky. Wasn't easy. And I think this red will go up into the right corner pocket, the one that he just
Ronnie
cannoned
O'Sullivan
into
won.
there. And the black is over the pocket. He can play for the blue. It's another good chance for Mark Allen.
One.
Nicely held for the blue. Get the black back on its spot in a couple of shots' time.
Six. Seven.
Shouldn't be a problem getting on one of those reds. They're sitting very nicely. Well, I say it shouldn't be a problem. An unintentional cannon onto the red. He's still got a couple of reds available to him, but he didn't intend to cannon that one, but should be able to recover the situation.
$15. $20. $21.
Just a nice angle on the blue. Just get on the two reds below the pink. And you can't really see Mark Allen messing this up.
26. 27.
That missed black earlier in the frame. Maybe going back to his seat, he thought. That was his missed opportunity, but didn't expect to come back to the table so soon. Looks like
34.
he's going to go into a 4 frames to 1 lead. Just a couple of reds left needed.
35.
Ronnie is going to have to win 5 of the next 6 frames.
Well, it wobbled a couple of times, but safely in the pocket, and that's another frame for Mark Allen. Worrying
46.
times for the Rocket.
$47.
I mean, he's won 3 ranking titles as Mark Allen. He won the World Open twice in China, 2012, 2013. He'd love to win a Triple
54.
Crown event. He's done everything but that. He'd love the Masters, or
56.
the UK, or the Worlds. He's got the game to do that.
59. $63. $68. $74.
Well, he lost the opening frame, but since then he's on breaks of 65, 115, 85, and that magnificent 81. Mark Allen now leads Ronnie O'Sullivan by 4 frames to 1.
Well, if you stopped anyone in the street today and said it's Ronnie O'Sullivan against Mark Allen this afternoon, and if we have an early finish, who's going to be the victor? The majority of people would have said Ronnie O'Sullivan, but it appears not, Stephen.
You've got to have a spring in your step when you haven't got going, and as we know full well, Ronnie likes to pop balls and entertain the crowd. It's not happening today.
Yeah, have you spotted this? I don't know who's responsible for the front cover, World Snooker probably, but there's Mark Selby, gone. There's Ding Junhui, gone. There's John Higgins, still in, just about. And there's Ronnie O'Sullivan gone. So I'm not into omens in any way, shape or form. I'm just thinking how interesting that we could lose another big name.
Yeah, well, we talk about the start of the tournament. It's the top 16 players in the world. So theoretically, they should all be able to win. They're not. There's only a few that can win. But yeah, when you're under pressure, you're under pressure. And as Ronnie came in, he said it. He doesn't care whether he wins or loses. This is a big test.
He did say that. We're not sure if we believe him, but there's been lots of yawning from O'Sullivan.
Well, yeah, I mean, funnily enough, if you're sitting in your chair, you can start having a yawn. If you walk around the table, you get your blood pumping
But
around.
I think he was yawning
But I think
on frame 2, to be fair, Steve.
He came in here the other day and said he felt a bit dizzy. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a bit under the weather. So he looks a little bit
Jaded, doesn't he?
tired.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, it's not making excuses. You know, it's easy to come out with all that rubbish. But I mean, he does seem like he's a little bit struggling to sort of like get his eyes right and look. And to actually see the balls properly.
Steve Davis being brutally honest. I thought I was on a radio phone
No.
for one moment. Who's on line 2? Ken Doherty.
Yeah, I totally agree. Ronnie does look a little bit tired. He is yawning a little bit. Maybe the dizziness from the other day has rolled over to today as well. He does certainly not looking himself, and certainly not playing the way he was playing the other day either. And there's another loose shot.
One.
And he's faced with a tricky pot here. If the yellow passes the red, he'll take it on. Just roll it in. That looks pretty good to me. First chance in this frame falling to the man from County Antrim. He really has played some exceptional snooker here, winning those 4 frames with 1 visit.
Nine. Thank you. 10. Seventeen. Cuba, yep. Not sure if it's
Spotted something on the white there. Had a little ant on the cue ball the first day's play. Never seen that before.
Yeah. Eighteen.
Steve Davis was talking to Sean Murphy about tips and cues, and if you look at Mark Allen's tip, you'll see it's sort of a white
25.
colour rather than blue, so he's using this new chalk.
$26.
Got a bit to do with the cue ball now, but there's plenty of loose reds available. He's timing the ball very nicely, Ken, isn't he?
He certainly is. It's another good positional
31.
shot. He's got into a nice groove. His scoring has been fantastic.
$32.
I think you see putt success 95% for Mark Allen. Oh, could have gone wrong here. Didn't have the ideal angle on that black.
39.
I don't think he's on the red, and that could be end of break. So a reprieve for Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Mark Allen, 39.
39 break. Could have been a lot more. He'll be disappointed.
Good pace with the cue ball there. Is he having a go at this? He certainly is. Great shot. Okay, he played it as a shot to nothing, but it was a terrific pot, and if he rolls tight up behind the green, what an advantage.
Mark Allen 1.
And you'd have to say it's a must-win frame for Ronnie O'Sullivan, 5-1 behind. That would be a real mountain to climb.
Good hit on the red. He hasn't left the one to the right centre, but he certainly left two here to the bottom left-hand corner pocket. Okay, he's using the rest. Under normal circumstances, you'd expect him to pot this, but this is not normal. But he's made a good job of it. Right into the heart of the pocket.
1. Seven. 8.
Needed to come back just another inch or two
15.
to be perfect. He's not that many pots away from securing the frame, so slight change of plan here.
16.
Just looking for one more red. Is he going to drop on it?
Cheers. 20.
Quite a sense of humour. One person clapped and Mark said cheers. So just this red needed to make it 5 frames in a row. It's there, right in the centre of the pocket.
21.
At the moment, everything's going right in the centre of the pocket, not touching the sides.
Mark Allen.
And Ronnie just signals to the referee he concedes the frame, so Mark Allen, well, he's unstoppable at the moment. That's 5 frames in a row, and he leads the defending champion by 5 frames to 1. Superb snooker, and this shot here, Ronnie played a very good safety shot. Look where the white is, but he's picked out this red, and he knew he could find the gap, Ken, and he was playing it as a shot to nothing, but to cue that in like that, and then he rolled tight up behind the green. It's hard to beat that sort of play, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. And you know, everything he's looked at, he's potted. Mark Allen started off a little bit nervy, but since that first frame, look at the break: 65, 115, 85, 81. Break of 39 only in that frame, but still some good pots, good pressure pots, and he's looking very relaxed indeed.
And with regards to Ronnie O'Sullivan, he's got to just think about his match against Mark O'Fu, where he made 3 centuries in the first 4 frames. He could do with a few century breaks here, Ronnie O'Sullivan, just to get himself going, because he hasn't had a chance to get any rhythm. He's missed a few, but he hasn't really got in amongst the balls.
Doesn't look himself today, does he? He really doesn't. Looks tired. Maybe suffering with something, but can't take anything away from Mark Allen.
Frame 7. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
I think if there's anybody in the game that could pull this back, it would certainly be Ronnie O'Sullivan, no doubt about that. But he's going to need a little bit of help. And at the moment, he's not getting any help from his opponent. He's playing good safety, good match play snooker, and any chance he's getting, he's winning the frame from it.
Well, that black going right over that pocket is put that pocket out of action now. Now then, there is a long red on for Ronnie. This could kickstart his comeback. It looked for a moment there he was going to knock the black in as well. Beautiful pot, but oh, he would have been anxious when he seen the white heading towards the black. I mean, he's got fabulous support here, but to be fair, they've always been a very fair crowd at Ali Pali, and they're appreciating Mark Allen, but they'd love to see a comeback here.
Eight. Nine.
Well, that's not what he played. He's okay, but he didn't intend to cannon the reds. It's the wrong side of the blue now. And didn't intend to cannon the brown, and that makes things snowball, and gradually you run out of position.
14.
This is a tough one he's faced with now. That's a terrific
15.
shot. Bridging over the red and having to force it.
15.
He got a slight bit of unwanted side there, and that can happen when you're bridging over an awkward ball like that.
One.
Oh, not a chance for Ronnie.
One.
Did say he's going to need a bit of help
8.
from his opponent.
Nine.
Could have worked out better. I don't think he's on that red to the
16.
right of the pink, so he's going to have to take this with the rest, and it's not straightforward to get on the black here. I'm not quite sure whether he can avoid the red. No, couldn't avoid it.
And just look where the red has gone, that he
17.
can, and he's blocked the path for the black. But it's usually the case, you know, when you're playing well, you get the run of the ball. If you're struggling a little bit, this is the sort of thing that can happen. Super green, but you still can take this as we show
20.
you this terrific long pot. Another awkward little one. You see, he's cued across it slightly.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 20. One.
Yeah, excellent putt. It's only one loose red, and that's the one just at the bottom of the pack between pink and black. And that's what he's going to try and get on. This looks absolutely perfect. What a positional shot that is. Fantastic.
Four.
Couldn't have played that much better.
Yes, his last visit at the table, he missed a straightforward black. He just lost a little bit of focus there, Mark. He was thinking about the cue ball and missed a fairly comfortable black. And maybe just, it's a frame that will take him to the winning post, and he
12.
just underscrewed that one. So just a little tiny bit of tension there. So he's made a couple of mistakes in this frame. And that's about all he's done. He hasn't made many more. That's a
Mark Allen, 12.
very good shot there. He's good at that type of shot, is Mark Allen. And if that pulls up, he's on the brown. So one good positional shot here and have a great chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Sure.
He's not going to get a better opportunity than this, Dennis.
Thank you. 5.
Just having a look at the scoreboard. The two reds that are close
6.
to the pink there. I think the bottom one of the two. I think that does pot. So they're all there for the taking. Doesn't have to play any delicate cannons or bring reds into play.
11. Thank you.
Another good recovery
12.
shot with the rest there. can he close this quarter-final match out here?
70.
Still quite a bit of pressure on him. Oh,
18.
look what's happened here. He decided maybe that red wouldn't go that Ken mentioned, and thought I'll just nudge them and put them on, and thought I'm bound to be on the black, and look what happens here.
Mark Allen, 18.
Oh, this looks good. He's played a good shot there.
And Ronnie O'Sullivan tapped the table there, so even though he's 5-1 down, he still appreciated that good shot from Mark Allen there.
Foul.
Now this
And a
could be
miss.
a free ball.
Mark Allen, 4 and a free ball.
So he's got all sorts of opportunities here. He can put him back. He can take the brown as the extra red, get himself onto a colour, and yeah, this could be a frame ball coming up if this goes in. But we've seen previously what can happen when just a fraction of an inch he ran out of position. He's got himself 5 points in front, and they're sitting
5.
perfectly.
Six.
Now, can he hold himself together for a few more pots for quite a famous victory?
13.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
13.
That was just pure pressure. Now, where's the red going to finish? It's going to be right over the middle pocket. So that last attempt from Ronnie didn't get close to the pocket.
One.
And even that one, that's just a bit of adrenaline and pressure there, Ken, to over screw that one.
Yeah, he's gone a little bit far, but I think he can just hold it a little bit of left hand side. Yeah, no problem. 17 ahead, so yellow, green, and brown required.
Six.
Ronnie O'Sullivan looks on, but he hasn't been at the races today.
I'm just thinking, Ken, a lot of people will be surprised about this shock result, but there's one person that won't be surprised, and that's the boy that's knocking the balls in. He's got great belief in his ability.
13.
He's beaten Ronnie on the big stage on a couple of occasions, in the Masters in 2011 and in
18.
the Worlds in 2009. And although Ronnie looked out of sorts, it has to be said that Mark Allen has put in a fabulous performance here against the defending champion with a string of breaks. He acknowledges the crowd here at Alexander Palace, and in the end he has won the match very comfortably indeed, beating Ronnie O'Sullivan by 6 frames to 1.
And to say, Stephen, if Ronnie O'Sullivan had beaten someone 6-1 at this stage, we'd be saying what a magnificent performance. the story is going to be, undoubtedly people will say, what happened to Ronnie O'Sullivan, Steve? But we've got to give Mark Allen all the credit in the world for dispatching him today.
Totally. It's a game where you're trying to dominate the table, and Mark Allen did that successfully. He never balked at his chance. He had one shot in the middle pocket, but other than that, he was magnificent today. And we don't really know, what happened to Ronnie O'Sullivan, but he was put in his place by Mark Allen. Yeah,
lots of disappointed fans. I'm just looking at the screen here. Lots of disappointed fans here because obviously he is the crowd favourite. Ronnie O'Sullivan is out. Stephen, your reaction?
He was totally outplayed. Mark Allen did what he had to do. You have to. The only way you can put pressure on people is, you can win frames scrappily, but that doesn't really put pressure on. You've got to win them in one visit, and that's what he did today. And it puts pressure on anyone.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, the game of snooker at the top class level is margins. Ronnie O'Sullivan is undoubtedly on his day the best player we've ever seen in the game, but he's not head and shoulders above the top players, other top players in the game, that he can't be beaten on the day and outplayed. But there is a pressure on Mark Allen. There was a pressure on him because he obviously knew that he sort of had the jump on him in the match, and he knew full well he wasn't firing. So therefore, there's the pressure. Can I keep it going? And this time, I think he did it very successfully. And I did say at some stage, dominating some of the top players is the next level for Mark Allen, and he's successfully done it there.
In fairness, you did say that at the very beginning, and here comes the man victorious as well. Great performance, fantastic. You've just beaten Ronnie O'Sullivan 6-1. Fantastic performance. Well done.
That's not quite the way I wanted to win. I was a bit twitchy at the end there.
We noticed.
Any win against Ronnie's a big win. I'm a realist in that. Like, Ronnie's the benchmark of our game. I'm very, very happy. I scored really well up to 4-1. But I sort of fell over the line in the end.
I was saying that's what you have to do to put pressure on Ronnie. One visit snooker, isn't it? That's the only way you can put pressure on him.
Absolutely. I find that against Ronnie, I play more aggressive because you're going to get fewer chances, and I feel like you have to impact the game in some way. And not that you're going to bully Ronnie out there because he's the king at it, but you nearly have to be like that.
Yeah, you've got a great record against him as well in these big tournaments as well, haven't you? You've beaten him at the Masters as well, beaten him at the World Championship as well. And I just wonder, Mark, I was talking to a lot of the fans and they were saying today that they were so looking forward to seeing Ronnie O'Sullivan because they'd seen on the telly, they've been watching our coverage, the way he dispatched Marco Fu as well. Was it important for you today to get off to a good start and quieten this crowd down?
Absolutely, and I had two good chances in the first frame and didn't take them, but two sort of cannons that I played that I landed awkward on both reds and missed them both, and you can't give Ronnie easy chances like that. But yeah, I scored really well after that. But there's still a few idiots in the crowd there. Like, I'm down on shots and they're shouting out, but it's part and parcel of playing Ronnie.
What do they shout?
They're shouting, "Come on, Ronnie!" I'm on my backswing, like he's not even at the table. But look, that's nothing to do with Ronnie. It's
I used to get that with Jimmy White at the Wembley Conference Centre. You're in the back shot and they'd be like, you hear miss on the back.
I played a brown in one of the frames and coming down for the red. It's frame ball, and like I'm touch and go whether I'm going to be on it, and the idiot in the crowd shouts, "Keep running." Like, I'm just thinking, shut your mouth, will you, please? I'm trying to play a game.
Yeah, that's not good.
2,000 people, you get a couple of idiots.
Of course, look, and that's not a reflection on Ronnie at all. But I love it because it gets me up for it. Like, I potted the red and looked up at him. Was that to say, is that all you got, sort of?
Look, you recovered well from that disappointment in losing position a couple of times in the next frame, and then started to dominate, and that's something I think is the next level for you. Now is a great chance here in the Masters to dominate the top players. There's still some great players left.
Look, I'm not getting carried away. It's one match. Look, I'm very, very pleased to beat Ronnie, but it's one match at the end of the day, and there's going to be two very, very tough ones ahead of me if I'm going to win the tournament. But look, I'm still in. We've got them in the semis. And
absolutely. I mean, you beat Ronnie O'Sullivan, but if you lost the next round, you still would go back disappointed.
Exactly, and I come here to win the tournament regardless of who's in it, and if I had to beat Ronnie and Selby along the way, then so be it. But look, I come here to win, and if I don't go home without the trophy, then I'm very disappointed.
You look very much in control of the cue ball at the moment, must be said out there.
I'm glad you said that, because it didn't feel that way at the end.
I think it did overall.
Even he's left me the red in the last frame over the pocket, and I nearly messed it up. But look, I felt like I played really good the whole match, and it's a big match for me. It's a big match for everyone playing Ronnie, and I include Selby in that. It's a big match playing Ronnie, no matter where you play it.
I was saying to you before,
to get over the line, I'm happy.
It's the biggest test of a player's belief in their own ability. Just now, it's so
I'll get so much confidence from that, because I've said it for months now that I feel my game's in good shape, and that is the ultimate test. I know Ronnie missed a few today, but I think he missed a few because I put him under pressure.
So you should.
And one of the things about that is when you all of a sudden say you're 4-1 in front, 5-1 in front, you're aware of the fact that you could then turn Ronnie O'Sullivan over, and you're aware of how much of an influence, how much interest that's going to be. So you've got to cope with that while you're playing the match as well.
I don't really think that much when I'm out there. No, I was 4-1 up, but I was just concentrating on the next frame. It sounds a bit boring.
That's the best way. That's the best way.
I felt like I was in control, and it's just concentrating on the next frame, regardless of what the score was.
Yeah, and Mark, I said during in the interval that the chat that you had with Rob Walker, where you spoke so honestly about your career and about your snooker life. But I remember, and I said to Stephen, being in exactly the same position, we had that chat many years ago. I don't know if you remember when we talked about your ambition to win a major title, and especially this one as well. Do you feel as if your game and your frame of mind is better than when we spoke all those years ago coming to a Masters tournament?
I don't feel like my game is much different, but I feel like I'm much better mentally. Very strong-minded out there, and look, it is what it is. I haven't won a tournament in nearly 2 years, so I'd like to put that right, regardless of what tournament it is. But I'll always look back on my career, and if I haven't won at least one of these big tournaments, I'll be very, very disappointed.
Yeah, okay. Well done. Many congratulations. Thank you very much indeed. Really enjoyed watching you today. Thank you very much.
Ronnie, obviously very disappointing this afternoon. How do you sum it all up?
No, listen, he deserved his win. I didn't, give him much to really make him struggle. So, it's just one of them things, Good luck to Mark, and, just enjoy the rest of the tournament now.
Do you have to give him a lot of credit for showing some bottle to get over the line against you here in a big venue?
You have to give people credit, of course you do. He's done a fantastic performance, fantastic game, and he's in the semi-finals, so he must be feeling amazing. Really good.
Obviously, he's worked really hard the last year or two on his game. Do you think he's ready now to go on and win it?
I don't know, and I don't really care, to be honest with you. All I know is I'm glad it's over. It was a bit of a tough match for me, from my perspective, it's nice to kind of be able to not have to think about coming back Saturday, I can just rest up there and try and sort of, get ready for my next event.
I know you're not a player that makes excuses when you've been ill, but were you feeling the effects a little bit?
Yeah, no, I don't make excuses, but I had to show up. It would have been if I was a football player, then I probably would have missed this game and they'd have probably put someone else in for me. But you're in an individual sport, so you kind of sometimes have to just get out there and do it. And if I would have pulled out, then there'd have been murders. Everyone would have been shouting and screaming. So I thought just turn up, give it a go. But yeah, I don't know whether I just had double vision, blurry. I feel really like I was struggling against Marco, but I just one of them days where everything just went in. But if it wasn't quite right, I wasn't able to sort of turn it around. I feel like my head sort of, I'm struggling. I don't know what it is, whether it's a virus or whatever it is, But I've had it before, and it's very difficult, when you're sort of getting dizzy spells sort of thing. So yeah, I'll give it a go, and it just obviously wasn't good enough. If I'd been playing someone that couldn't put a ball, then I might have done all right. But Mark's too good a player to not put him under any pressure.
So Ronnie, you're actually feeling worse than you did during the match?
No, I feel exactly the same, to be honest with you. Exactly the same. So just that's the way it goes. I just had to come and give it a go. Like I say, I don't make excuses. But from my perspective, I'm pretty glad that because if I'd have won or got through that and come back and had to fill the game again Saturday, it's not much fun when you're out there and you're not physically feeling great. Do you know what I mean? When you go out there, you want to feel like you can do yourself justice, and I was on about 60%, and I had to hope that Mark or someone made a lot of mistakes for me to kind of get some rhythm, but otherwise, it was really difficult, and I'm just glad it's over, to be honest with you, because I don't physically feel good enough to go on and win the tournament anyway. So.